Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for July the 29th, 2023. So, the big thing this week, Haunted Mansion came out yesterday, and no, I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping to go and see it today. I did, however, sort of maybe make the mistake of listening to the soundtrack ahead of time, which, anything where they were playing with Grim Grinning Ghosts, I really liked. I'm probably going to get the soundtrack and add most of it to my Halloween playlist. But there was there's kind of a spoiler in the soundtrack, and I'm not going to go into detail what it is, but it's a character's name, and I don't think it's going to affect anything from watching them. For all I know, the character's name is maybe given straight off at the beginning, but I did not expect to be spoiled just by listening to the soundtrack. But then again, when you listen to the soundtrack, generally I think you've already seen the film, not the other way around, but the soundtrack came out earlier in the week and it was on Spotify and Amazon Music and stuff. So yeah, I listened to it, and I like, none of it's bad, but I think about half of it is probably going to end up on my Halloween playlist. Hopefully there will be a physical release of it, like a CD, but I suspect I'm going to end up just buying an MP3 album because, physical albums aren't so much a thing anymore. So, this week, we're doing pins again. It's kind of become a monthly thing around here. We're doing pin videos every few weeks. One, because we've frankly just been buying more pins recently, especially with D23 just cranking them out. Every couple weeks, D23's got more pins out. They had, this past week, they had a Haunted Mansion movie pin. They had, for some reason, the 90s version of Parent Trap got a pin. They had a Roger Rabbit pin this past week. Lots of D23 pins are coming out, I guess, to really make you feel like you're getting your money's worth out of that D23 membership of letting you buy other stuff. But also, of course, because the latest entry into Disney 100 Decades has arrived. This was, the 70s, I believe? And yeah, it was another pin month for us. The backpack looked nice. The Electric Mayhem backpack looked nice, but I don't collect backpacks, and my wife was not that into it. We have the Electric Mayhem record, but yeah, not the backpack. Maybe if it goes on sale later on. I think all the Decade stuff is pretty much all still available. So, keep an eye on it. If it goes on sale, we'll do that. But yeah, it's the pins. We only got the pins this month, and I'm really thinking that I'm gonna have to swap sides on the board. I kind of thought, I could fit 10 pins on here, no problem. Problem actually being that not every month only has one pin, and some of the pins are rather large. If they were 10, like the size of Steamboat Willie there, yeah, aces, no problem. But then you start getting Scrooge's Money Vault or Ludwig von Drake there with his beams of color, and it does all start to fill up rather quickly. And the backside is a little bigger, and honestly, we haven't got that many non-Decades Disney 100 pins, although we do have one today. So yeah, we have D23 pins, we have Disney Decades pins, we have a Disney 100 pin, and we even have a Visa card pin. And also something that I don't think is actually a pin, and was kind of honestly not what I expected it to be. And maybe, let's start with the open edition pin first, or the one that's not it's a special pin, but it's not in one of the other categories. So in any case, it's all kind of small stuff, so we'll go down there to look at it. So we'll start off with the only pin neither of us bought for ourselves, and that is this one. It's Disney 100 pin. It nicely is very similar to that Mickey and Pluto pin I picked up at the Disney Outlet a couple of months back. And this actually came from the Disney park, not from Shop Disney, and was a birthday present for my wife. Her birthday was this past week. I did not get this for her. If you remember, I got her the big old Lego castle, so she's already put together her present for me. But some of her family recently went down to Disneyland and brought back this as part of her birthday present. And it's Mickey and Minnie in front of the Disneyland castle. It does actually say, I don't know how well it shows up on camera because it is kind of white on silver, and I know it gets all glary, but it does say Disneyland there. It's got the Disney 100 logo. It cost however much a yellow pin costs. I don't know, $10, $15, whatever it was. But it'll nicely go on the back side of the pin board, or maybe eventually to what is currently the front side of the pin board. Because again, we have a lot more pin real estate being taken up by the Decades pins than we do just our non-Decades 100 pins. We've not accumulated as many of those as I kind of thought we would by this point. But it's a nice pin. It's just fairly straightforward. No pin on pin. There is some texturing here. The kind of the white parts and the other colors feel different than the silver a little bit. But yeah, I think if I hold it at an angle, I think you can see the pin better. But if I hold it straight on, I think it just kind of glares out. I've never quite perfected the lighting in here, have I? Yeah, it's a nice pin. And again, it's the only one we have today that we didn't buy ourselves and isn't part of like D23 or Decades or something specific. It's just a nice token to show that my wife was being thought of when they went down to Disneyland. All right, so next let's do our D23 stuff. Now this one I don't think is technically a pin. It's one that I had picked out because I thought it was unique. I'm not a big fan of Mulan or anything. I probably watched the movie like once. I've never even seen the live action version. But this is to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Mulan, the original, not the live action version. Limited edition of 750. And I had thought when I saw this online, it was going to be like a medallion, because it looks, in the images online, it looked like it had like a necklace to go with it, or like, at least a ribbon that would go around your neck. But in actuality, it's more of an ornament. It's not really, see, I thought it was going to be like a medallion, like something, you could wear on your neck, and it's not. It's not a pin either, so it's kind of not totally appropriate for this video because of that. But it is it's like an ornament, I guess. Does the box say what it specifically is? No, it just says it's made in China. Well, yeah, Mulan's from China. So yeah, you have, again, what I thought was going to be a medallion, but I guess it's more of a tree ornament with Mulan in kind of her two different aspects there, and a dragon on the back. It's nice. It's a very, very solid, weighty, chunky thing. It would put that on the stronger branches on your tree if you're putting that on a tree. But I'm a little disappointed isn't the word. I still think it's unique. It's still only, limited edition 750, so there's not a ton of these out there. But I really was thinking it was going to be more of like a medallion than an ornament. But it's nicely done. Got the gold, got, again, the split of Mulan's face from like Soldier Mulan to not geisha, that's Japanese, whatever. I don't know the proper term for that, and I'm not going to try to guess. The dragon's nice though. Obviously, you can probably tell from looking, it gets fingerprinty very easily. I've put a horrible fingerprint right on the dragon there. So it's probably one that's going to be best left in the box. I don't know what I'll do with it because, again, I don't think I'm going to put it on the tree, but it's not what I thought it was. But I don't dislike it. Also, they had those like Mulan blind box pins that if you got them all, you like formed a sword, which is pretty cool. Except for one, I'm not that into Mulan, and two, I have learned my lesson on blind box pins from Shop Disney, and we're not doing that again. Not even for Haunted Mansion, because also they released some of those last week too, and yeah, we're not doing that again. Staying with D23, we'll next look at this pin. I think it came out around the same time as the Mulan pin, maybe even the same day, not pin, ornament. I think maybe even the same day. And this one celebrates 60 years of the Tiki Room with, was that Jose? I don't know which bird that is. I think that's Jose. Maybe it's the Barker bird. Does kind of look like the old Barker bird, doesn't it? But this is limited edition of 1500. It is a double pin backed one. Let's take it out so maybe we can see it a little better with a little less glare from the plastic. Maybe. It's on a different kind of cardstock than I'm used to. I feel like, no, I guess it's not. It felt like from the back, it felt like a little rougher, but I think that's just it looks like it should be rougher, and I kind of, in my mind, it felt like it should have been because it looks that way. But it's a nice representation of, I don't remember if that's supposed to be Jose or the Barker bird. I think it actually said on Shop Disney specifically who that was supposed to be. But it's a very nice representation all the same. And of course, the Tiki Room is a classic Disney attraction that I think you should always try to get in and see when you go to Disneyland. It's worth going to see. Nothing else, if especially in the summer, get you out of that hot sun, get you inside for a few minutes, relax, enjoy the music. It can be a little too relaxing. Honestly, when we went there last May, I kind of was falling asleep during it because it was dark and it was nice and cool and it was a little too relaxing, honestly, but definitely enjoyable. Something you should always check out when you're there. Again, nice little pin. I guess I like the double pin back because it'll hold it up straight should you actually wear it. Not that I intend to. It's going to go back in its plastic and stay in as close to mint condition as it possibly can, which is to say, not totally. It did get a little bent up in shipping, but that's kind of running theme right now with the Shop Disney pins. They shipping a lot of them in padded mailers again, which is not great for keeping them mint condition. Next, we have one more D23 pin, and probably my favorite of the D23s today, maybe my favorite overall. But this is the most recent of the D23 arrivals, although again, I think it came out around the same time as the other two pins we looked at, and that is the Indiana Jones pin to celebrate Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny, limited edition of 1,000. We looked at, the only other pin I got from Indiana Jones was the head of the staff of Raw. I don't think they didn't do too many Indiana Jones pins to commemorate this recent release. I guess we'll see more when they do like an anniversary or something. But it's a nice pin. You've got, that's not the dial though, is it? It's more of a, that is the thing. Oh, I guess I probably shouldn't go into what I think that is, because if you haven't seen the movie, it'd be kind of a spoiler. But it's, I'm pretty sure I know what that is from the film. And of course you have the kind of the trademark Indiana Jones plane flying over a map over Indy's silhouette. And I said it before, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a perfectly good movie. It's not the best movie, it's certainly not the worst movie. I'm kind of tying it in third place, neck and neck with Temple of Doom. I don't know. I feel like if I watched them on different days, I probably would change my mind as to which one was third and which one was fourth. So we're going to just leave them tied for third and leave Crystal Skull as fifth place. But it's a nice pin. We have a double pin back to keep it straight should you wear it. And it's fairly, it's not anything fancy. There's no pin on pin here. There's no moving parts. It doesn't glow. But it is a nice Indiana Jones pin. And I'm quite happy. Like I said, I think it may be my favorite. I think it's certainly my favorite of the D23 pins. Maybe my favorite overall in today's video. Next, let's step away from one membership thing that allows you to buy more stuff to another membership thing that allows you to buy more stuff. And that is the Disney Rewards Visa card. They this year's Disney Rewards Visa pin, they usually do one or two a year. And this year they went with our old friend, the Cheshire Cat, which is a little fancier than our D23 pins actually. It is pin on pin. Cheshire Cat, you have Disney Rewards 2023 down there on the bottom, if you can see. And yeah, it's a Cheshire Cat hanging out in the tree. I don't think it glows or anything, unfortunately. Let's double check that. Oh, the eyes. I don't know if they're glowing or if they're... Let's turn some light, get a little bit less light and see if that helps at all. I don't know if they're glowing exactly or if it's just like a black light effect. Oh, my torch is dying. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just like day glow or if the eyes actually glow in the dark. Let's see if can we charge it up a bit? I think it's just like reacting to the black light. I don't think it's I don't think the eyes actually glow in the dark, but you can see a little black light reactive on his body too. So yeah, it probably is just black light reactive, which, I mean, that's cool too. I don't have a problem with that. But I mean, glow in the dark is nice too. So yeah, we usually get these every year. They did one year, they did the store opening key, I think the year before they closed all the stores. But since then, it's been pins. I think last year we had like Mickey and Minnie in a plane. This year, Cheshire Cat. I have no idea why Cheshire Cat, but I like Cheshire Cat, so I'm not complaining. And finally, we have the latest addition to our Disney Decades collection, and that is the 70s pin, or pins, plural. And much as the pins have all been very different in their general appearance, they've all been, up to this point, I think, pretty uniformly packed on a folded over card with a piece of foam in the middle. Well, that changes this month as well. This time it's, as you can see, on a big card with drawings of Elliot, 3 different pins of Elliot. Any words? No word, and no words. We've had words every month. We have no words to go with Pete's Dragon here. Just a massive, massive warning label, which again makes me feel like these are things that were going to be sold anyways and just kind of been put together into the Decades grouping for reasons of getting people like me to buy things who might not otherwise have bought. Because yeah, if they weren't part of the Decades collection, I probably would not have bought them. Now when these arrived, I thought, oh no, these aren't openable. I thought you'd have to tear the top off here, and I don't want to destroy the packaging, but my wife pointed out that there is actually a flap down here. Thankfully, the flap goes over the warning label. The label isn't over the flap, causing you to have to tear anything. So we can take the pins out. And yeah, there's no words. There's no words anywhere. And yeah, the card's a little wanged up. Again, shipped in a padded envelope, not in a box, because I guess, because we didn't order any other Decade stuff, so they sent it by itself. And as you can probably tell, I don't know if I showed the back or not, but you can probably tell by the fact the pins spin, they are single-backed. Yep, all 3 of them are. But they are Elliot in 3 different poses. Of course, I think when I was a kid, this is probably the first thing I saw that had that blend of live action and animation. Of course, 20 years later, Roger Rabbit would do it, I think, quite a bit better. I haven't seen Pete, like a lot of these things, I haven't seen Pete's Dragon probably since I was a kid. So I guess maybe maybe I should fire that up on Disney Plus at some point in the near future and watch it again. But the pins are nicely done. I feel like that in particular looks a little lot like Madame Mim to me, but in her dragon form. I feel like a lot of that actually is kind of Madame Mim looking. Probably similar artists, or same artist. Certainly around the same time. Well, though, Sword in the Stone was, 60s, right? Because we had a Sword in the Stone item in last month's collection. Or was it in this month's? I think it was a thing we didn't buy, though. The Decade stuff, not a lot in there. And again, no toy again this month. So I guess they just abandoned those, or they're going to just kind of quietly drop them later like they did with the Headless Horseman and Mr. Toad? I don't know. But that does wrap up our pins, so that does mean we now need to put them up on the board. All right, so let's see if we can get them a little close together, kind of right in a row right there maybe. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes 6, so there are 4 more months of this to go. The 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 10s, and the 20s. Is that right? Let's see, we've got 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah, I guess it's not for anything for the 20s, the 2020s per se, because that's partially. Well, at least we can use the some of this empty space here next to Ludwig to help our full Elliot pin stand up. But yeah, I feel like I'm not going to fit 4 more months down here, not easily, anyways. So I think we're going to have to switch sides to someone, because if you look at the back here, pretty sparse. Although, actually, while we're here, let's put my wife's pin on here as well. so we can join our other 100. I'm really disappointed that they haven't done any more like that. Like a window looking out onto Space Mountain or something would have been really nice. Also, disappointed that there weren't any more of these, and indeed the ones that were released have not come back into stock, because I think they were open edition. But there we go, we'll put Mickey Minnie there. But yeah, I feel like Decades is ultimately going to end up back here, and we'll move our 100 pins over here to the smaller side, since there are ultimately going to be, it looks like at least, less of them. But that is going to wrap us up for today. It's all pins. Next week, who knows? I'm hoping for Haunted Mansion stuff. But honestly, at this point, who can say for sure? I do hope next week, though, to be able to talk about my opinion of the new Haunted Mansion movie. Again, I'm hoping to go see that today. So, fingers crossed on that. It certainly has to be better than the Eddie Murphy version. And I mean, that's a low bar. But as long as it's better than that, I don't imagine I will be too terribly upset. But yeah, with Haunted Mansion, though, I'm hoping for maybe some new merchandise, maybe like box lunch or Hot Topic stuff. Also, they're already setting up the Spirit Halloween stores around me, so maybe some of them will be opening a little bit early, and see if there's any new stuff to try to grab. I do think, because like I only saw him in store a couple times, like once when they first opened, which is when I bought him, and I think like one time later we saw stores that had him. So I feel like with the good Haunted Mansion stuff, you kind of got to get that as soon as they open if you want to get it, and also get it where it's not been just like bashed to crud by other people. So let me know, what do you think is the best pin today, or if you like the Mulan thing, the best item today? But yeah, which pin's the best one, or which item's the best one? Which one do you like the least? What do you think of the Mulan ornament, I guess? Again, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I don't dislike it, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. And at least it's a unique thing. And let me know, what do you think now that we're halfway through, or over halfway through, the Decades collection? How do you think of it? Have you been buying the stuff from it? Have you been completionist on it? Have you just been buying just the backpacks, or just the pins, or are you picking and choosing like we are? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. And also, if you saw Haunted Mansion, let me know what you think of that. Without spoilers, please, because, other people may not have seen it. But yeah, that wraps us up this week. I do hope you found it at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.